Hello, everybody. Rory Graham here for Success Tracks, and today we have an interview with Lawrence Jones from Silvercare in Norfolk. And it was a very enlightening interview, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And that'll be coming up here right after this message.
This episode is sponsored by the book Diagnosis Parkinson's Disease. Now What? By Rory Graham. It's a practical guide for patients, caregivers, and their families who have been touched by this terrible disease. Order your copy today from Amazon and other fine booksellers, or get an autographed copy at rorygraham.com. Order today.
Hello, Dr. Lawrence Jones. How are you?
Fantastic, Roy. I'm excited and ready to be here.
Well, that's great. I tell you what, I have known you, as I said, I have known you a while, and you are, it never ceases to amaze me, all the things that you're involved in. Every time I turn around, you got another enterprise going or something, and it's been a real adventure. And I know we've done some work together and all. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to start off with you telling us about this journey that got you to where you are today, because where you are today is pretty impressive, but I know it probably has some humble beginnings. And I'd just like to tell people about what did you go through to get to where you are today. A little bit about it anyway.
Sure, thank you, Roy. I appreciate you for having me on this platform today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it really stems back way before 2017. My wife, Dr. Eric, and myself, she has grandparents that, they were deacons in the church, and of course, he worked as a mail carrier for a long time, and he was also military. They was in the 80s, and of course, they did a lot of traveling. And of course, there came a time when we realized something was going on, and of course, through those times, there was some difficult times that we faced, and through the power of prayer and fasting, and we decided to move forward. We finally realized that we got him diagnosed with dementia, and that started the journey. We started trying to bring in home health cares to alleviate some of the pressure, stress, because of course we did work outside jobs. And through the power of prayer and fasting for 21 days, my wife came up with this brilliant idea that, the Lord spoke to her about starting home health care. Of course, we already had a business prior to moving here that we had sold. And of course, we both at that time was teaching either at the university level or at the college level. And of course, when she had mentioned that, I was like, well, hey, you sure this is what the Lord has called you to do? And notice I said what she called her to do, because that's not what my plans was. And I finally realized, like, I have met my career, working at TCC, and I enjoyed it, teaching religion classes there. And it was just at the height of what I enjoyed doing. Long story short, we finally just started trusting God. Proverbs 3:5-6, trust the Lord with all thy heart, lean not to thy own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. And he started just really giving us guidance on how to move forward, and we started trusting him. And of course, her grandfather was the first client that we had, and our focus was to cut back from everything else and to serve him in any capacity that we could. So again, we had to move from where we was at to move in with them, and we just started that journey by trusting God and continue to be top payers. And of course, the business just kind of came along, and our focus was just to provide care for him. It was never to expand to the level that it is. However, in the process, other individuals started recognizing the care that we were giving to her grandfather and asked could they come on board. And so our focus was to serve a community and give a community something that other home health cares either were or were not doing, but to be leading it. And so the purpose of it was our heart. Our heart was involved in this home health care to make sure that families of the struggles that we faced in the beginning, they would not have to face. And that's what kind of started our journey. We were givers. We never stopped giving in spite of the circumstances. Even when we was trying to push for new contracts, we never stopped giving. And I do believe because we were servants and gave, I believe the abundance of rain, and even in this case, with clients and where we're at today is a new testament of our giving and serving. And so we been continue to do those two things by giving back to either other nonprofits or giving to our religious services or others that are in need, and also been able to give to our employees, serve those. We don't look like we don't look as if we're above them. We're there to be beside them and to help them grow as well as we're growing as well. And so we have grown from one person to over 60 something employees today with our home health care. So it's just been amazing. We started that in 2017 in April, and we have tremendously grown.
Well, you certainly have, and it's quite an achievement and a lot to be proud of. You know, I can tell you, Lawrence, I started doing success tracks because I felt that this would give people an opportunity to hear that, you know, people didn't come to this by having it handed to them, that they worked for it and they did things, and that they had certain things that worked for them and made the journey possible. And I got to tell you, one of the themes, actually several themes that you've mentioned in just what you just said, are reoccurring themes that seem to be God. It seems to be really involved in a lot of these people, I'll tell you. Gratefulness, giving, those three things seem to be resonate through multiple people. It's really something for people to think about, and I know it's been true in my life, and everything. So I know that your journey is not finished. I know that you're continuing and to expand to help more people, and with another enterprise. Did you want to touch on that?
Yeah, sure, Roy. We actually, as well, started a nonprofit called SCDC. It's Civic Care Dementia Center, Inc. And basically what that is a respite program. We call it the NEST. It's a night program. It's educating caregivers and then a support system for caregivers and their family. But it is a respite program that we are starting in 2025, and we're already engaging that with the deaf program here in 2024. Which will allow individuals that have Alzheimer's or dementia to bring their loved ones to the center starting at 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. at night. It's to give the families some time to rest while we are engaging in with their families. And when I say engaging, we have programs and those that will be working alongside of us, volunteers, to come alongside of their loved ones and to engage with them. It's just not bringing them to a daycare center and letting them just sit there. We want to engage with them. So we're going to have activities for them to be able to participate in along with the staff. And so, of course, we are excited for that. We have an event that's coming up that we're doing a fundraising for. It's Strive for Memory Walk-a-thon, and it's actually going to be in Mount Trashmore, October the 5th, 2024. The walk-a-thon is going to start at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., we actually have a community event where everything is free. We're going to have line dancers. We're also going to have other types of dancers out there. And bring your lawn chairs. Most definitely. We got a host of vendors that's going to be out there, somewhere between 25 to 30 vendors. We also have food trucks for everyone to participate in and go around to the food trucks. So we really anticipating the weather's supposed to be great there that day. And of course, again, this is a fundraiser to be able to help families in the, of course, the North End area and also in the surrounding areas where they can bring their loved ones as well to this center. And more details will come up, of course, out in reference to this. At the website, how to get involved, you can go to the website, www.scdcva.org. Again, that is www.scdcva.org. va.org. You can actually sign up as a volunteer or participate in the event or become a vendor. We just appreciate you going out to the website and looking at the information because you may know someone that need this type of service. And of course, this is the first time this service is coming to the state of Virginia, so we're really trying to push this out for individual family members that we have heard back from, and alongside of our home health care, that people stated that they really need this service. And so, of course, again, we want to serve our community in the capacity that is needed. And I think that's true success when you're able to find a service that others need.
Well, my some of my back history, and so that I had a father who actually your company helped, and I had a wife also, and I know that dementia and all is a serious issue, and if you're a caregiver, you need all the help you can get. And a break like that would be truly very special and much needed. And I applaud you for bringing that to this area. Or actually to Virginia, as you said. So that's great. So as you are planning and maneuvering your company, is there a base strategy that you use? I mean, do you start with prayer, or do you actually have a written plan of action that you're following, or how do you move to the next step? I'm sure you've got next steps figured. I know you. So
Roy, there's a conglomerate of a lot of different things, but I will most definitely start with one of the main ingredients. You are correct. I think, personally, when I say I think, it's not really I think, it's I know that you have to have Christ as the center of your life. That is the first thing. Everything that we do, I realize I am a steward on earth to do the will of the Father, and that is to continue to be Christ-like. So I kind of leave it there because I don't want to preach on this platform. However, everything that I implement, it has to have a servanthood attached to it. And whatever I'm doing, it cannot be me attached to it. It has to be something of serving others. And so my strategy is every time that I get up in the morning to come to work, I have a passion. It's because, of course, I'm an advocate of reading my word and studying my word and having a relationship with him first. And by having a relationship with him first, then it allows me to have a relationship with the individuals that we employ here. And so, of course, I come alongside of them not to place my ideology or my thinking on them, but what I do is allow who I am from the inside to resonate on them on the outside by not telling them that I am a believer, but showing them what a believer looks like. That is the first step. Number two, I always have a strategy. I meet with my staff. I'm always asking them what are their ideals. How can we move forward? What are some of the things that you see that needs to change? That is another method that I use. Number three, I have other people that come alongside of me that speak into my life called mentors that help me navigate those spaces that I cannot speak to my staff about. And there's those business leaders that have paved the way or already have been where I'm trying to go. So they help me navigate certain spaces. And also, number four, relationships. Having connection with relationships would take you farther than anything. And I think the main thing, you have to have a balance between those assets. Now, in our office setting, we use an acronym called DAX. Discipline, accountability, consistency, and sacrifice. So everyone in our office and our employees utilize this throughout their day. It's kind of an acronym that we, over the 7 years that we've been in business, we kind of came up with. You have to have discipline in yourself in anything that you do. You have to be willing to take accountability for your actions. And you have to be consistent in all your actions and ways. And then you have to be willing to sacrifice for the loved one that you are serving. And so when you have I found out that when you have a consistency of those four elements, then it brings balance into your life to be the best version of yourself.
Well, that's fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better list of success things that you need to do. You came prepared. That was good. Most people don't, but that was really good. Okay, I think we've gotten an awful lot of information, and your information, your contact information, will be at the end of this podcast, and it will also be on the page on the site with the podcast. But if people want to get hold of you, they can do that through Silvercare.
Yes, right? That is correct. So our website is www.silvercare, the number 4, alphabet u.com. So that is www.silvercare4u.com, or you can contact the office at 757-648-9396.
Okay. All right. That's great. Well, I really, did you want to say something else?
Sure. Also, I was going to say, Roy, our address is 3659 Sewells Point Road, Norfolk, Virginia, 23513. So feel free, if you want to come on into the office and chat with one of us, we would love to help you or to help your loved one.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure having you here today. I really appreciate you coming in or allowing me to stop in with you at your facility there. And I wish you continued success. And I know that we'll be also talking soon. So thank you. And
thank you as well.
All right, so thank you for joining us today. And if you have a story to tell and would like to be featured on Success Tracks as our guest, you can go to the website, successtracks.com, and apply, or you can call us at 757-271-8687. We look forward to hearing about your success journey. And with that, we're out.